Hashtag story scraps. This is a challenge put together by Which Craft Do You Do? A group of sisters and a mother who have put up this challenge, and I am doing it for the first time in my life. So here we go. Hi everyone, and a special shout out to Kerry. Thank you so much for welcoming me to your challenge. I am not 100% sure of what I'm doing, but I will give it a go. Now, what I've got here, it's I do have the same kind of packaging that you showed us on your video, Kerry, but I've got something stronger here because I have a slightly different plan. But this is actually a bag for one of the supermarket chains that we have here, where they do you can place online orders and they do deliveries within an hour. It's called 6060, which is rather sweet, but they have the most amazing strong bags, and I have been hoarding quite a few of them because I have plans for making gift bags towards the end of the year. And our little cleaning lady has a brilliant idea. She collects them also for her son who's at school, and he uses them for covering his school books because it's lovely, strong, very noisy brown paper. Now, I'm not 100% sure of the size I want to use, but I do know what colors I'm going to be playing with. So I'm going to start off by just tearing this into 4 pieces, and then I'll take it from there. I have downloaded my freebies. I'm going to be popping out tomorrow to have them printed, and then I can really get down to it. But I thought, in the meantime, let me do a little bit of preparation. Now, this is something I saw and I tried a couple of years ago, and it worked out beautifully. It's crumpling up your paper bag and eventually having it look like faux leather. And I did try it once to make a gift bag for my son-in-law, and it was beautiful. So I do know it works, and I thought, well, let me just do something slightly different. I'm not sure how it works, but I think the challenges are for, I think how a challenge would work is we must kind of follow your prompt and do something similar but maybe different. Not 100% sure, but I do stand corrected. I have to apologize profusely and then behave myself if what I'm doing is not quite right. But this does look like so much fun, and I am so looking forward to joining in. Right, I've got these all nicely crumpled up, and you can see I've applied a little bit of paint to start the whole process. I'm not going to make you sit through watching me do this whole thing, but basically what you do is you crumple it up, and then you come back and you dab with a sponge with a little bit of paint on it, and you set it aside, and then you come back a little bit later, and when it's dry, and crumple it some more, and just keep doing it until you get the look that that you're happy with. And it really is quite good fun to do, and the effect is rather gorgeous at the end of the day. But as I said before, I'm getting my digital downloads printed out for me tomorrow, so I'm not going to do any more preparation here on camera, but we will see the finished bits tomorrow when I start the proper video. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to be back and to be a little bit more organized than I was the last time. As you can see, I have printed out my digital downloads. I've even started the fussy cutting and sorting, so we're getting along quite fine, thank you. These are a couple of scraps of lace that I've been hoarding that I'm using in my video. And let's clear a bit of space here. Oh, there's another little scrap of lace. And I'll show you what I've done so far. I did get a little bit carried away with my preparation and ended up actually making one of the items completely. Sorry about that, but I promise you'll see me working on the other two today. All right, this is the one that I completed. You can see from the brown paper that this is the paper that I was preparing in advance. It's quite interesting, I think, what I've done so far, because I did do the layers of paper. I did some layers under here and just added one piece at the back. This paper here is very old watercolor paper that I tea dyed just for fun to see if it would work, and it worked extremely well. That is how it turned out. The only thing is, because it's very old, it's well over 30 years, and I would say maybe twice that length of time, it tends to crumble. So printing on it with the laser printer, the printing wears off. So what I do now is, let me show you here. I take this, for example, I printed this out because I can't find old music sheets. So I printed this out, and then I went over it with liquid matte medium just to seal it down. It's a bit blurry. It's a bit grungy, but it's cool. I'm happy with it. Right, so that was this. Then here, this is something that I also hoard. This little piece of paper here, you can see it goes all the way around to there, and that is this. I clean my brushes, I wipe my glass plate that I mix my paints on with kitchen towel, and then I stash it because it comes in handy for all kinds of amazing bits of decoupage and so on. You might have gathered that I'm more into mixed medium arts than I am with actual junk journaling. But I have done a couple of altered books, you know, so I'm getting there. I'm just still trying to wrap my head around junk journaling, because I never kept a diary as a young girl, and so I've just trying to wrap my head around it, and I thought this might be a good start. Anyway, I am also into bright colors. I love bright colors. So although I have kind of vintaged this down a bit, I'm still using my bright colors, and thank you, Kerry, for the blue and the orange, my two favorite complementary colors put together. So yes, this is the first one completed. Here's a bit of book page. There's the little piece of the story, some scraps of lace, and then the background. I'll flip it over and you can see what it looks like on that side. That's what I did because it was starting to look a bit uneven. I decided it needed a bit more down this side. So this was what I did. Now, I've got another one very similar in that I'm using the brown paper. This time it's a bit more organized. You can see that I've really gone to town with layers, and I've got them nicely put together. I've got a lot of kind of volume and texture there. Then this will be my little focal image that I'm putting in. I'm adding a little piece of that music paper and a little piece of book page and a little piece of my kitchen towel. So that's where I'm going so far. I haven't chosen a sentiment yet, or a little phrase for the story, but I might use a label instead. I'm not 100% sure right now. But anyway, let's start. I've not done enough waffling. It's time I did some work. Okay, I have my liquid matte medium in this little bottle. I find I needed a bit more than I need a glue stick for this particular project. And let's go. So my thoughts are, I'm going to turn this round because you may have noticed that my camera is on top of my screen, so I'm kind of facing the camera this way. Anyway, here we go. So I've decided I wanted this to go here. You have to excuse me coughing. I try and keep it to a minimum, but the cold weather has this effect on me. My throat itches and I start coughing. So sorry about that. I'm not dying or anything. I'm just sometimes become a little bit irritating. One cough sweet later and a mug of hot water on standby, and that should take care of the winter cough. Okay, so now I want to put together this little baby. I'm really enjoying this challenge. It's something that I didn't think I'd have the guts to do, but anyway, here we are. Let's just put a little bit of craft glue down. Put another piece here. I'm rather enjoying this thing of not gluing things down completely, so that you do have the added texture of things that curl up at the edges or show what's underneath. I rather like that. Okay, so this little baby's going to go here. I do tend to stop nattering when I'm focusing on getting things right. So pardon me for that. There we go. Now we can put this baby on. I'm rather liking that. Let's turn it around so you guys can see it. Yeah, I think this is going to turn out rather lovely. I just want to wait for the glue to dry on here. So let's move along to my third and final little item for this challenge. This one is also going to be fun. Let's move this to this side where it's not so much in my way. Okay, this time I didn't use orange. I used burnt sienna, a combination of burnt sienna, burnt umber, and a little bit of Van Dyke brown to color this one, this batch of papers. And I have torn the edges of this little fairy photo just to make it uneven, and then I've attached it to a piece of the paper. You might be able to see what it looks like. This is a piece of scrap paper that I use for a background when I am painting or messing about on my desk and I don't want to make a mess. You know, this is how it would have looked at one particular point in time. But again, I don't throw this away. I hold on to it. And when it's well and truly covered, then I will use it in one of my works. So, here we have this little darling. I'm going to put her on here. And then, in keeping with the story, I'm going to put Sprig there, which I think is rather gorgeous. Oops, I forgot the book page. Let me just put that in there. This one goes here. And that one just pops out the side there. So this is basically how I'm doing this one. I hope you guys are liking it. I think these digitals are absolutely gorgeous, guys. Kerry and Rennie, I think that's your name. Sorry, I'm a little bit bad with names at this particular point in my life. As you may have gathered by the hands, that I'm not terribly young, but I'm very young at heart. I'm what you might call a geriatric delinquent instead of a juvenile delinquent. But I'm very young at heart, so I am loving this new hobby of mine, and I'm looking forward to really growing. Go. Let's put that one there. Just want to make sure I get you in the right place, my darling. So put her down next. Up a little way. The top half really done. Oops, come out. My little piece of book page. Ooh, oh, there we go. I managed to get it off. Kind of let it get too far inside there. There we go, that's better. Now let's add the sprig. Love that. I talk to my plants, so I can relate to Millie and her little seed in the story. Smooth this over here. Managed to get quite a bit of glue everywhere, didn't I? I am a reasonably messy worker. There we go. Let's put sprig on there. I'm really loving this one too. I think it's quite cute. So now we've got two works in progress. Glue and stuff drying. And the completed one. So it looks quite nice. Okay, here we are. Our little Millie and her sprig are drying off here. Let's do number 3. This one I have taken a bit off of the masterboard stroke background page in the downloads, and I'm just going to add it in here. I wanted to put something in here that kind of carried on with the theme of the music paper and the book page. I just kind of filled that in and made it a bit more balanced, and I'm rather liking that kind of mishmash decoupage thing happening there. So let's glue that down. I'm just going to get it in a spot or two to start off with, just so that it stays put while I do the rest. There we go. This tiny little scrap. I know it's ridiculously small. Look at that. But it's just got the perfect little bit of colour on it. And I wanted to feature. There we go. Here's the lid for my glue. If it's standing in the sun like that, it's definitely going to dry out on me. Okay, let's put you in there. Yes, I rather like that. I think that's just added enough. Let's take that little piece off. Now again, I'm trying to make up my mind whether to put a label or part of Millie's story in here. Kind of liking the idea of a label for some reason. But I just love the words in the little story too. Let's see what I can do. Let me have a look at the words. I'll take it from there. Now, I know I used blue lace on the first one. Do I want to put... No, I don't think I'm going to put lace on that one. I'm happy with it the way it is. Well, let's have a look at some words. No, I don't know. I don't think I can fit it on here. I wasn't really paying attention when I was putting this thing together and not remembering that there were actually sentences to be applied. So I'm going to leave it off. I'm rather sad about. Another look at this word. You know what? This is the one I want. This is the one. There we go. There we go. And there we have it. Quiet morning bloomed. I like that. It was just enough. And this is going to go right up in there. I've lost the O, the little edge of the O. Let me see if I can find it. Nah, there it is. Isn't it amazing that you can make a mistake and tear off a fraction of a letter and stick it back down again afterwards? Like I said, I'm loving my new hobby. It's perfectly good for an old duck who occasionally makes a mess. Here we go. Beautiful. And the label's coming on too. And there we have it. Number 2 is done. And there we have it, the end of my first involvement in a challenge. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I hope you've enjoyed watching me enjoy myself. So here we have number 1, which has been shown to you before. Here is number 2. Now what I've done here is I've inked around the edges of everything just to antique it slightly. We have the little sentence and we have a label on that one, but I decided against lace. And then finally, she could well be my little favorite. I'm just trying to aim it. There we go. You can see I have painted her little wing and pearlized it. So when it catches the light, it gleams like a dragonfly's wing. Little bit of lace, little scrap of lace. Sprig with her name, his name, and therefore no story, no part of the story. But this, I think, I know. I'm really happy with this one. I love the way it's turned out. It's by far the nicest in my own mind. But again, thanks everyone. It's been great. And I look forward to next week's little exercise. So for now, stay well, stay safe, and bye-bye all.